Hello and good evening. It is Saturday, April 9th, 2022, and it's time for our next edition of Star Trek Radio Theater here on Live Long and Podcast. I'm Dave Mader, and on this show, our podcasters reenact Star Trek scripts with some creative voices, reinterpretations, or not, or some more faithful than others. Tonight, we're going to be reenacting the episode from Star Trek The Next Generation's 5th season, Darmok, which is from 1991 in terms of Star Trek years. It's 2368. And this is our third episode for season 3 of Star Trek Radio Theater, our 48th overall. This is a great story by Philip LaZebnik and Joe Menosky, and a teleplay by Joe Menosky, and a huge credits to our script editor, Ashley Millard, along with Kevin Millard and myself, for pulling the script together in terms of this new version. We got a great cast here. We'll bring out the cast and kind of do our bows at the end. We'll come off screen here, and we hope you enjoy the read. All right, and then in a few weeks we'll turn this into a fully polished audio drama. But until then, let's jump in. All right, let's bring this back in and solo. And on that note, let's all settle down and get going.
Captain's log, stardate 45047.2. The Enterprise is en route to the uninhabited Eladrel system. Its location is near the territory occupied by an enigmatic race known as the Children of Tamar.
We focus on the observation lounge. Picard is briefing Riker, Data, Troi, and Worf on the Tamarians.
Apparently, the Tamarians arrived at Eladrel 4 nearly 3 weeks ago. They have been transmitting a subspace signal towards Federation space ever since.
The signal is a standard mathematical progression. It does not carry a specific message.
But they wanted us to know they were there.
Apparently so, number one. Starfleet believes that their presence is an attempt at communication. Commander!
Federation vessels have encountered Tamarian ships seven times over the past 100 years. Each meeting went without incident. However, formal relations were not established because communication was not possible.
Why?
The children of Tama were called incomprehensible by Captain Silvestri of the Shikumaru. Other accounts were comparable.
A cause for concern, huh? For all we know, they could be threatening our border!
Everything in the previous encounter suggests a peaceable race. We have to start from there.
Agreed. I appreciate your prudence, Mr. Wolf. But Starfleet believes that the Tamarians have extended a hand. We must do the same.
The Children of Tama? I've heard rumors about them for years.
Indeed. But are they truly incomprehensible? In my experience, communication is a matter of patience, imagination. I would like to believe these are qualities we have in sufficient measure.
We focus on space. The Enterprise arrives and meets the Tamarian vessel in orbit of Eladrel 4. We focus on the bridge. The Tamarian captain, Dathon, is speaking to them over the view screen.
Ray and Jiri at Lunga. Ray of Luani. Luani under 2 moons. Yuri of Ubaya. Ubaya of crossed roads at Lunga. Lunga, her sky gray.
The Tamarians don't understand why they aren't being understood. Dathon speaks slowly and deliberately, as if to a child.
Ray and Jiri at Lunga.
Picard leans over to Troi.
Counselor.
I'm sensing nothing but good intentions from them, Captain.
Mr. Data.
The Tamarian seemed to be stating the proper names of individuals and locations.
Yes, but what does it all mean, Data?
I'm at a loss, sir.
Picard walks to the view screen to address the Tamarians.
Captain, would you be prepared to consider the creation of a mutual non-aggression pact between our two peoples? Possibly heading to a trade agreement and cultural interchange. Does this sound like a reasonable course of action to you?
The Tamarian crew just stare back, blank looks on their faces. The Tamarian first officer begins to laugh and then seems to mock Picard. This makes Dathon angry.
The River Tamark in winter.
The first officer looks properly chastised. Picard turns to Riker.
Impressions, number one.
It appears they're trying their best.
As are we, for what it's worth.
Shaka, when the walls fell.
Dathon turns to his first officer.
Darmok.
Darmok. Lunga.
Shaka, when the walls fell.
Zima Alonso. Zima Ebakor.
Darmok at Tanagra.
Shaka. Marab. The sails unfurled.
Darmok.
Marab.
Tamark.
This stops their argument.
The River Tamark.
Dathon takes the first officer's dagger and his own out of their sheaths. He holds them out towards the view screen.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Dathon beams away, then Picard.
Block their transporter with the shields. Extend to maximum range.
Not enough time, oh gosh!
Where is he?
The Tamarians have transported Captain Picard to the planet's surface, along with their captain.
Riker to O'Brien.
It will not be possible to transfer it, sir. The Tamarian ship has created a particle scattering field on the planet's ionosphere.
We focus on the planet's surface. Picard beams into a meadow. It's a lovely sunny day. Birds are chirping in the distance. Picard is confused and looks around. Dathon comes out from behind a bush. He is still holding the two daggers. He raises them up as he did on his bridge. He has super weird thumbs. We focus on the bridge. As always, Riker is pacing.
Riker to Captain Picard. Captain, do you read me? Can we compensate?
No, sir. The Tamarians are projecting a particle-sustaining beam into the upper atmosphere. The result is a hyperionization that virtually disrupts all EM and subspace carriers.
Then they can't communicate with their man either. They won't be able to beam anyone through the field?
That is correct. However, they have left sensor frequencies clear.
Then they'll be able to tell what's going on. Analysis, Mr. Worf? What the hell is going on?
Oh my! A contest, perhaps, between champions? A captain against theirs?
Theirs was armed.
We focus on the planet's surface. Dathon continues to repeat the same thing as he approaches Picard. His arms are wide, the daggers pointed towards the ground. He doesn't appear to be threatening.
Darmok and Jalad.
You want to fight with me, huh? Is that it? Huh? A challenge? Huh?
Darmok and Jalad.
I don't know who or what Darmok, or Jalad are, but I certainly didn't come here to start a war.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Dathon throws a dagger towards Picard's feet. He seems pleased when Picard picks it up. Picard picks it up and throws it back. This disappoints the Tamarian captain.
Sorry, Captain.
Shaka, when the walls fell.
He picks up the dagger and backs away. We focus on the bridge.
Sensors show Captain Picard and the Tamarian in apparent good health, approximately 20 meters from each other.
Hail the Tamarian ship.
On screen!
You are holding our captain. I want him released.
Darmok at Tanagra.
Your action could be interpreted as an act of war.
Kitale. His eyes closed. Shenza at court. The court of silence. Shenza!
Is there any way to get through to them?
Not without further study.
Close the channel, Mr. Worf.
Gladly, sir.
Worf, I want you to assemble a security team, take the shuttle down to the planet, bring back the captain.
Aye, Commander.
Sir, the Tamarians are fully capable of stopping a shuttle.
I'm aware of that, but disrupting our transporter beam and firing on a shuttle are two entirely different things. I'm betting they're not going to push it that far.
We focus on the planet's surface. The sun has set and it is now night. Picard and Dathon are still keeping their distance. Dathon is relaxing by a fire while Picard is still struggling to get one lit. He manages to get some kindling ablaze, but it goes out before he has a chance to really get it going. Dathon finds this amusing.
Shaka, when the walls fell.
Shaka indeed. What now, Captain? Will you attack me in my sleep? If I don't freeze to death first.
Dathon gets up and approaches Picard. He tries, again, to communicate with him.
Darmok of Kanza. Jalad at the Kiteo.
Picard of the Federation, of the Starship Enterprise, of the planet Earth.
Dathon throws his hands up in exasperation and shakes his head.
Kedar, beneath Mo Mate.
Dathon sits back down at his fire. He picks up and drops some small shiny objects, obviously taking some meaning from the way they fall. He makes up his mind about something, lays the objects on rocks around his campsite, and then lays down for the night. Picard gets up, clearly cold. He tries to pull his stupid velour and leather jacket tighter around him, but it is obviously as warm as it is fashionable. Not in the slightest.
I think it's pretty good.
He paces around a bit. Dathon gets up, picks up a flaming branch, and throws it towards Picard.
Temba.
Temba. What does that mean? Fire? Does Temba mean fire? Torpedoes? Oh, sorry.
Temba, his arms wide.
Temba is a person? His arms wide. Because he's holding them apart in generosity. In giving. In taking.
Temba, his arms wide.
Picard accepts the gift of fire, and Dathon smiles.
Thank you. Thank you.
We focus on the Enterprise in space.
First Officer's Log, Supplemental. I'm sending a shuttlecraft to find Captain Picard, gambling that the Tamarians will sit tight rather than risk an exchange of phaser fire.
We focus on the shuttlecraft cockpit. Worf is at the helm, joined by Ensign Kellogg.
Good golly, the positron density is 0.013.
We focus on the bridge. Riker is pacing, listening to Worf's update.
Electron concentration 7.95. Particle gradient 4/7. We are 250 kilometers from the planet's surface. Oh my.
Commander, the shuttle has reached the E region of the planet's ionosphere.
How long can we maintain communication?
The scattering layer induced by the Tamarians is concentrated in the upper D region. The shuttle will reach that area in approximately 2 minutes.
The Tamarian ship?
Unchanged, sir. They appear to be making no attempt to stop us.
Maybe we called their bluff. Status, Mr. Worf?
Gosh, navigational, life support, propulsion, normal. Onboard systems do not appear to be disrupted by the field, but I can barely read you, Commander.
Acknowledged. Maintain communications as long as conditions permit.
Commander, I am reading a power surge in the Tamarian plasma reactor.
Lieutenant Worf, evasive maneuver sequence Delta.
The Tamarian vessel fires on the shuttle.
Commander, the shuttle has been hit.
Damage?
The starboard nacelle has been rendered inoperable.
That's all? Riker to Worf.
We focus on the shuttlecraft.
Report.
Oh no! Starboard thrusters destroyed! I may be able to land, but I will not be able to take off!
Understood. Return to the Enterprise, Mr. Worf.
Worf hesitates, but obeys.
Aye, sir.
We focus on the bridge.
Enough to turn them back, but not enough to hurt them.
Yes, sir. The phaser pulse appears to have been carefully attenuated for just that effect.
Nice shooting.
We focus on the observation lounge. Atmospheric ionization scan 927 is on the wall monitor. Geordi is briefing Riker, Troi, Worf, and Data on the Tamarian scattering field. I'm pretty sure I can punch up the annular confinement beam enough to transport the captain through the field, but it's going to take me at least a full day to do it.
Captain Picard could be dead by then.
Oh my! I do not believe so! I have confidence in his ability as a warrior! He will be victorious!
You're still assuming this is some sort of challenge ritual. We can't be certain of that.
Agreed. We're only making educated guesses about their motivations, no more than that.
Then why do we wait? If we attack the ship now, they will not be able to maintain their scattering field.
Which might start a shooting match, and for all we know, a war. And we still might not be able to save the captain.
It would end the stalemate.
Too much of a risk. I'll take that course when it's the only one left. Who the hell are these people? There's got to be some way to get through to them.
As I have said, with further study, it may be possible.
Then do it. Deanna, help him. I want something by 0900 hours.
We focus on the planet's surface. It's daytime and the birds are singing again. Picard wakes up alone.
I've woken up alone again. Now where have you gone to, my friend?
Picard strolls over to Dathon's campsite.
Forgive the intrusion, Captain, but I need some answers.
He examines the small objects Dathon placed around the site. He sees what looks like a journal and sits down to read it. We focus on Data's quarters. Data and Troi are reviewing the communications log recorded from earlier.
Darmok at Tanagra.
Shaka! Marab, his sails are furled.
Darmok!
Marab!
Freeze. Darmok.
Darmok, well, it seems to be a point of contention between them. Perhaps something the Tamarian captain proposed that the first officer didn't like.
The apparent emotional dynamic does seem to support that assumption. As with the other terms used by the Tamarian, this appears to be a proper noun. The name clearly carries a meaning for them.
Computer, search for the term Darmok in all linguistic databases for this sector.
Searching. Darmok is the name of a 7th dynasty emperor on Kanda 4, a mythical historical hunter on Chantil 3, a colony on Malindi 7, a frozen desert on Tanza 5,
Stop search! Computer, how many entries are there for Darmok?
47. Oh.
Data gives a look of exasperation, much like Dave does when the number 47 is mentioned.
Oh, all our technology and experience, our universal translators, our years in space, contacts with more alien cultures than I can even remember.
I have encountered 1,754 non-human races during my tenure in Starfleet.
And we still can't even say hello to these people.
Correct.
A single word can lead to tragedy. One word misspoken or misunderstood. And that could happen here, Data, if we fail.
Replay at time index 144.
Darmok at Tanagra.
Freeze. Computer. Search for the term Tanagra. All databases.
Searching. Tanagra, the ruling family on Gallows 2, a ceremony drink on Larishi 4, an island continent on Chantil 3.
Stop! Chantil 3. Computer, cross-reference the last entry with the previous search index.
Darmok is the name of a mystical historical hunter on Chantil 3.
I think we've got something.
We focus on the planet's surface. Picard continues to examine Dathon's journal.
Captain's log.
Darmok!
Dathon comes running back.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
I was curious. I meant no harm.
Dathon
No harmless snooping.
Dathon pushes the journal out of Picard's hand.
Shaka! Temba, his eyes wide. Temba.
Dathon tries to give Picard the dagger.
Enough! I'm not going to fight you. You'll just have to.
Something big roars nearby.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Dathon offers the dagger again.
Temba! His arms wide.
They look around, and rocks tumble down a hillside. Picard takes the dagger.
I'll go along with that.
We focus on the bridge.
Gosh, Commander! Sensors are picking up an electromagnetic disturbance approaching the captain's position.
Analysis?
A variable induction field. Possibly a life form.
How close is it to the captain?
The field is erratic, appearing and disappearing, but appears to be moving toward him. Oh
Attacking?
Worf sort of nods.
my!
We focus on engineering. LaForge and Ensign Leffler are working away.
Riker to the forge.
LaForge here.
How close are we to that transporter?
2 hours, maybe 3.
I want the captain out of there now.
That's not very likely, sir.
I don't want to hear that, Commander.
Leffler, what's the resonance frequency?
0.34 over standard.
I want a revolution of 5-3 at the very least. Commander, I'll need about 2 more minutes. We focus on the bridge. But there's a good chance this isn't going to work.
If it fails!
I know. We will have tipped our hand to the Tamarians. But it's a chance we have to take.
Agreed,
The forge, proceed.
We're on it. LaForge, out.
Riker to transporter room 1.
We focus on transporter room 1.
O'Brien here, Commander.
Stand by, Mr. O'Brien.
We focus on the planet's surface. A big something appears and disappears near them.
Mirab, his sails unfurled.
That certainly is a big something. Come.
Shaka, when the wells fell.
Then the creature is behind them and vanishes again.
Shaka, when the walls fell.
Shaka. You said that before, when I was trying to build a fire. Is that a failure? An inability to do something?
Darmok and Jalad.
At Tanagra.
Dathon is pleased.
I remember the words, but I don't understand.
We focus on engineering. Matrix levels?
Annular convergence 439.205. Confinement resolution 0.527.
This isn't going to do it. Increase thermal input coefficient to 150%.
Increase it now.
Status LaForge.
We're almost there, Commander. Leffler, shut the overload to the phase transition sequencers in Transporter 1.
Yes, sir.
LaForge to O'Brien. We focus on the transporter room.
Go ahead, Commander.
Confirm phase sequencer linkage.
Link confirmed. Ready whenever you are, sir.
We focus on the planet's surface. The beast appears and disappears again. Dathon is pushing Picard back.
Uzani, his army at Lashmere.
At Lashmere? Was it like this at Lashmere? A similar situation to the one we are facing now.
The beast continues to get closer.
Uzani, his army with fist open.
A strategy. With fist open. With fist open.
His army with fist closed.
With fist closed. An army with fist open to lure the enemy. With fist closed to attack. That's how you communicate, isn't it? By citing example. By metaphor. Uzani's army.
And Picard opens the distance between them.
With fist open.
Dathon is delighted.
Sokath, his eyes uncovered.
Picard is smiling and then gets attacked. Picard takes a stab at the creature. But he gets a jolt through the dagger and drops it. Dathon attacks. Picard rejoins and is thrown down again. Dathon takes the full brunt of the creature's fury. And Picard gets beamed away. Picard is horrified at the timing of this as Dathon continues to get ravaged.
No! God! No! No!
We focus on the transporter room.
We got a piece of them, Commander, but that's all.
We focus on engineering.
Boost the confinement beam.
157 over standard.
It's as slow as it'll go, Commander! We focus on the planet's surface. Dathon is being thrown around and battered to a pulp while Picard flickers. We focus on the bridge.
Gosh, the Tamarian and his entity are in close proximity. The Tamarian's life signs are fluctuating.
The scattering field is still in full force. What the hell is wrong with them? Their sensors can read what's going on as well as ours can. Riker to O'Brien, report.
We focus on the transporter room.
The field's still deflecting the signal. There's just not enough of them, sir.
We focus on the bridge.
Open a channel to the Tamarian ship.
Aye, sir.
Your captain is under attack. Drop your particle field.
O'Brien, the bridge. I can't hold them, Commander.
What?
You missed a line there.
Clash when it arises.
They've closed the channel. Oh, my.
O'Brien, the bridge. I can't hold them, Commander.
Focus on the planet's surface. The creature leaves and Picard runs over to Dathon. He has been beaten severely and is gasping for air.
Shaka.
When the walls fell.
The Tamarian passes out. We focus on the Enterprise in space.
First officer's log, stardate 45048.8. Our attempt to transport Captain Picard back to the ship has failed. My options are narrowing and my patience is all but gone.
We focus on the observation lounge. Riker is discussing the situation with Geordi, Troi, Data, Worf, and now Dr. Crusher as well.
Here's the situation on Eladrel. The entity has moved off several hundred meters.
Captain Picard's bioscan readings are stable. The Tamarians are not.
He may be injured.
If the entity decides to attack again, the captain may be facing it alone.
The transporter's out of the question. The Tamarian ship has deepened the scattering field to the D region of the ionosphere. There's just no getting through.
Unless we attack the ship itself.
Are you able to pinpoint the source of their particle beam?
They're using a polarity coil generator located aft of their warp drive. It's pretty heavily shielded.
Could we get through with our phasers?
Not with the force spread. It'll take a couple of hits.
That's not good enough. We need to knock out the scattering field in one shot and have the captain back on the Enterprise before they know what happened.
If we selectively target the amplification pathways around the generator, it should be just as effective. And we can do it with just one burst.
How long will it take to set up?
Worf and I would have to adjust the pre-fire chamber. That'll give us the focus we need. A few hours?
Make it so.
Geordi and Worf leave.
I would prefer to find a peaceful solution if we can talk our way out of this one. That's much better.
Unfortunately, it may not be that simple.
What did you find out?
The Tamarian ego structure does not seem to allow what we normally think of as self-identity. Their ability to abstract is highly unusual. They seem to communicate through narrative imagery by reference to the individuals and places which appear in their mytho-historical accounts.
It's as if I were to say to you, Juliet on her balcony.
Ooh, an image of romance!
Exactly. Imagery is everything to the Tamarians. It embodies their emotional states, their very thought processes. It's how they communicate, and it's how they think.
If we know how they think, shouldn't we be able to get something across to them?
No, sir. The situation is analogous. The situation is analogous. I'll re-record this one. To understand the grammar of a language, but none of the vocabulary.
If I didn't know who Juliet was or what she was doing on that balcony, the image alone wouldn't have any meaning.
That's correct. For instance, we know that Darmok was a great hero, a hunter, and that Tanagra was an island, but that's it. Without the details, there's no understanding.
It is necessary.
This android is malfunctioning.
She is having a problem here. Okay. It is necessary for us to learn the narrative from which the Tamarians draw their imagery. Given our current relations, that does not appear likely.
We focus on the planet's surface. Night has fallen. A fire is lit, and Dathon is laying down, badly injured. Picard is keeping watch, both daggers in his hands.
Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Our situation is similar to theirs. I understand that. But I need to know more. You must tell me more about Darmok and Jalad. Tell me. You use the words Temba, his arms wide, when you gave me the knife and the fire. Could that mean give? Temba, his arms wide. Darmok. Give me more about Darmok.
Darmok on the ocean.
Darmok.
Picard picks up a stone to indicate Darmok. He places it on the ground and then uses a stick to draw a circle around it.
The ocean. Darmok, on the ocean, a metaphor for being alone, isolated. Darmok on the ocean.
Dathon writhes in pain.
Ah!
Are you all right?
Kiazi's children, their faces wet.
Temba, his arms open. Give me more about Darmok on the ocean.
Tanagra on the ocean. Darmok at Tanagra.
At Tanagra, a country. Tanagra on the ocean, an island. Temba, his arms wide.
Jalad on the ocean. Jalad at Tanagra.
Jalad at Tanagra. He went to the same island as Darmok. Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
The beast at Tanagra!
The beast? There was a creature at Tanagra. Darmok and Jalad, the beast at Tanagra. They arrived separately. They struggled together against a common foe. The beast at Tanagra. Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra.
Darmok and Jalad on the ocean.
They left together. Darmok and Jalad on the ocean.
The ocean. Zinda, his face black, his eyes red. Kalimas at Bahar.
You hoped this would happen, didn't you? You knew there was a dangerous creature on this planet, and you knew from the tale of Darmok that a danger shared might sometimes bring two people together. Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra. You and me, here, at Eladrel.
Kira at Bashi. Temba, his arms wide.
My turn. No, I'm not much of a storyteller. Besides, you wouldn't understand. Shaka, when the walls fell.
Dathon sighs.
Perhaps that doesn't matter. You want to hear it anyway. There's a story, a very ancient one, from Earth. I'll try and remember it. Gilgamesh, a king. Gilgamesh, a king at Uruk. He tormented his subjects. He made them angry. They cried out aloud, "Send us a companion for our king. Spare us from his madness." Enkidu, a wild man from the forest, entered the city. They fought in the temple. They fought in the street. Gilgamesh defeated Enkidu. They became great friends, Gilgamesh and Enkidu, at Uruk.
At Uruk.
The new friends went out into the desert together, where the great bull of heaven was killing men by the hundreds. Enkidu caught the bull by the tail. Gilgamesh struck it with his sword.
Gilgamesh.
Ah, if only you and I could fight the bull, Captain. They were victorious, but Enkidu fell to the ground, struck down by the gods, and Gilgamesh wept bitter tears, saying, "He who was my companion through adventure and hardship is gone forever."
And with that, Dathon dies. We focus on the Enterprise in space. They are still at a standoff with the Tamarian ship.
First officer's log, supplemental. Despite the risk of war, I have no choice but to break the stalemate.
We focus on the bridge.
Phaser's nearly ready, sir.
Stand by to fire, Mr. Worf.
Commander, the Tamarian's bioscan is becoming unreadable. He may be dead, sir.
If we know that, so do the Tamarians. Riker to LaForge.
LaForge here.
I need those phasers.
Sir, sensors are tracking the entity. It is approaching Captain Picard's position.
We focus on the planet's surface. Picard has laid out Dathon with his dagger when he hears the beast roar.
I understand your sacrifice, Captain. Unfortunately, if our friend out there has its way, no one will ever know what you tried to do.
The beast is getting closer to Picard. We focus on the bridge.
9 meters in closing. The energy output of the entity has doubled, Commander. 6 meters.
LaForge to bridge? You have phasers.
Fire!
Gosh, their particle beam emitters are inoperative, sir.
Scattering field is down, sir.
O'Brien, engage or energize. Do something.
Picard is beamed away just as the beast attacks. We focus on the transporter room.
We got him, Commander.
Picard runs out of the transporter room. Doesn't even stop to say hi to O'Brien. We focus on the bridge.
Maximum shields.
Aye, sir!
The Tamarians return fire.
Red alert.
Starboard shields holding at 52%! Forward shields are gone, oh my!
Let's get out of here.
That may not be possible, sir. The starboard nacelle sustained a direct hit. Warp engines are offline.
Go to impulse. Back us off.
They're matching our maneuvers, sir! They're firing!
Return fire, Mr. Worf. Full phasers.
Firing, sir! Gosh, their shields are holding! They're firing again! Oh no! Our shields have failed!
Commander, we cannot survive another hit.
Picard enters.
Hail the Tamarian vessel.
Aye, Captain!
Zinda. His face black. His eyes red.
Tamok.
The Tamarians pause at this and quickly calm down.
The river Tamok in winter.
Darmok.
And Jalad at Tanagra. Darmok and Jalad on the ocean.
Zokat. His eyes are open.
The beast of Tanagra. Uzani, his army. Shaka, when the walls fell.
The Tamarians understand and bow their heads and perform a ritual. Picard holds up Dathon's journal and the Tamarians beam it away.
Picard and Dathon at El Idril. Marab. With sails unfurled.
Picard holds out the dagger.
Temba, his arms open.
Temba. At rest.
Picard understands that they are gifting him the dagger.
Thank you.
The transmission ends.
Power has been restored, sir.
New friends, Captain?
I can't say, number one, but at least they're not new enemies.
We focus on the ready room. Picard is sitting on his couch, reading. The Tamarian dagger is on his desk. Riker enters without even knocking.
I hope I'm not intruding, Captain.
No, of course not, number one. Please.
Damage reports ready for your review.
Thank you.
Greek, sir?
Oh, the Homeric hymns, one of the root metaphors of our own culture.
For the next time we encounter the Tamarians?
More familiarity with our own mythology might help us to relate to theirs. The Tamarian was willing to risk all of us just for the hope of communication, connection. Now the door is open between our peoples. That commitment meant more to him than his own life. Thank you, number one.
Riker leaves. Picard picks up the dagger and walks over to the window. He repeats the gestures he saw the Tamarians use when they learned of their captain's death, paying his own silent tribute to his fallen comrade.
And yes, that concludes our reading of Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra. I'm Dave Mader, as mentioned previously. This is Jane Mader. She was Lieutenant Commander Data tonight. What was that word you were having trouble there with? Analogous?
Analogous.
Analogous. Was it the anal part that was the issue? Or no?
I didn't want to say it.
Well, I'm not even going to go there.
No. Yeah.
What's the word again?
Analogous.
Analogous. Yeah, no, that was good. Great job, Jane. And I was also
Yeah. He's here.
He's here. And then we have Davan Skelhorn here. I'll make people big for this. So Davan Skelhorn playing the part of Captain Picard. Great job to you, Davan. Nice. Coming to us live from Nova Scotia, where it's an hour later. Of course, we had Adam Woodward in the role of Captain Dathon. Great job to Adam and to your Tamarian first officer, Mott. You guys had to argue in all like this crazy language. Well,
his arms open. His arms open.
Yeah. Great job to both of you. Both are Tamarians here tonight. Definitely a heavy lift. We had Mickey Mouse in the role. No, it was Mickey Mouse in the role of Worf, plus Jessica Chan in the role of Deanna Troi with Gus as well.
He tried his hand.
Yes. He was pretty good for it. Yeah. And then of course we had Kevin Millard in the role of Commander Riker. And Ashley Millard in the role of Commander LaForge, Commanders, as well as Ashley serving as our narrator. I was playing a couple of roles, including the computer, and
LaForge.
Well, I was going for. I'm a Southern Belle. I'm Ashley Judd, and I'm in Double Jeopardy. That was kind of my motivation there. And then, my Dr. Crusher. Dr. Crusher has nothing to do with this episode. She's like, Picard looks good. The Dathon, not so good. That's my medical opinion.
But the line you got with your voice was so perfect.
The romance. Which one was that?
The romance line.
Oh, it was like, ooh, an image of romance. Yeah. Yoo-hoo.
The line of the whole show is Kevin's what?
What? What? Yeah, like Riker is at his most grumpy in this episode for sure. He even says as much in his logs. He's like, I have no patience. And even like where he's like Data and Troy's like, maybe if we do further studies, like, do it, Deanna, help him. Like, figure this out. Sucks. Right. Everyone, I had a lot of fun with that. Mott, what did you think of this?
Oh, I liked it a lot. There was their scene, where they had to, finally come together, before his death, and they figured it out, and they were telling stories, very touching. Picard, of course, he knew his patience would come through and shine, in figuring out this whole language thing.
It's all about imagination. Yes,
yeah. He knew from the beginning he was going to nail it.
He's like, I know how to do this. And then, even though he's like, I'm not going to fight you. And then we had a kitty cat there with Davan.
That was
which
Arcade.
one's that?
He's a good one.
Arcade Fire. Jody Simpson saying here, good job, everyone.
After Arcade Fire.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed everybody doing the commander in the different voices.
You had an opportunity there.
I had an opportunity, but Data
can't
do that.
Data wouldn't throw sass.
No,
he wouldn't do that. Quiet on the set, Sam says. Yes, that's right. And he's calling for Gilligan's Island Radio Theater.
Oh my God! Always with Gilligan's Island. Eventually it's going to happen.
Gus seems to like the idea.
Couldn't we make it that they're on a starship, but it's the same Gilligan's Island, miscommunication and
Sure, there could be they've done Doctor Who, Star Trek crossovers in comic books. It's like, I guess. Yeah. So you want the Gilligan's Island
in space?
In space. Same story, same character.
Isn't that Lost in Space?
Isn't that Lost in Space?
Oh.
Or is that? No, that's more like Swiss Family Robinson, which is kind of like Gilligan's Island. It's on an island. Maybe.
Everyone
not
do
very
their best
Swiss.
Star Trek impression, and we'll do it as Gilligan's Island characters. There you go.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea.
Like I have, it's been so long since I've even watched an episode of Gilligan's Island. Like it's got to be since I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like I remember because it was always in reruns when I would visit Nova Scotia, but it was never really on in Quebec or Ontario that I can remember.
We were just getting it. In Nova
It was
Scotia.
first run in Nova Scotia when I was there.
When you think about it, Gilligan's Island would be a great like a message for this episode. Gilligan and the captain
on the island. Or,
on the Minnow.
on the SS Minnow.
Gilligan and the skipper on the Minnow. A 3-hour tour.
Marianne with her coconut phone.
Yes. The professor and Marianne. It's been a while. I mostly
Oh my god, that's true. The opening is basically Tamarian.
Yes.
Movie star.
A movie star. Yeah, we did this episode in honor of First Contact Day, which was actually a couple of days ago. It was April 5th, as featured in the movie Star Trek First Contact. As this being like, well, it's kind of not technically a first contact because they had said they had met like 6 times, but never really got off the ground really. So this was, but it was kind of about bridging the gap, finding communication, common ground, and everything else. And a really touching story. One of my favorites of all time. And I'm glad we got a chance to do it. It's been long overdue, I think, you know, and glad to have this cast come together for this here on this Saturday night. I know we're all busy, and getting together is a little harder than it was during the pandemic. So I really appreciate everyone. Also, you know, big thanks to Ashley and Kevin for helping me pull the script together, and everybody else. Yeah, like great. It's been a great day. My brother is Rich. They're gonna have a baby. I just want to call that. More babies coming. We got babies all around. Yeah, it's gonna be a different Christmas this year. 2 babies will be a Christmas this year in the Mater clan, right?
Cove.
And
Cove.
Mater's Cove. Yes, Gene, we got to go to Mater's Cove.
I know we do.
Yeah. Oh, they got a sign. Swoop. Maybe they used to have the Tingleberry Tea House.
The Jingleberry.
Tingleberry.
Tingleberry.
I don't know.
What's made in Maters?
I'll tingle the berries.
Is that where all the babies come from?
That's where all the
berries
some of the Tingleberries.
It's what we call blueberries in Nova Scotia.
Get made in Maters Cove. Berries are blue. Okay. Oh
That's
man.
how you don't get these.
Yeah, exactly.
Davin, is that why it's called a blueberry grunt?
Yes. Of course, here we call it a tingleberry grunt.
Jessica, could I ask you to re-record just one line quickly here while we're still on the?
Oh,
recording?
is it the one that Gus talked through?
Yes.
Can you
It's
get
right
Jane
after.
to say analogous 5 or 6 more times.
I can't say it. My mouth doesn't do
Analogous.
anal. What?
Your mouth doesn't do anal. No, good. Doesn't happen.
No, that's a different part of your body.
Anal ogus.
Anal ogus. Yes.
Which one was it? Everything in the
It's like record number 25. It's Darmok. Well, it seems to be a point of contention between them. Perhaps something the Tamarian captain proposed that the first officer.
that
didn't
one.
like.
Oh, okay. Darmok. Okay. Darmok. Well, it seems to be a point of contention between them. Perhaps something the Tamarian captain proposed that the first officer didn't like.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, just as like I was like I when we were doing it, I was like I probably gonna need you to redub that one. And
Or you tried. You tried your
yes,
best.
he tried to. He tried. You gotta wait for your union dues there, Gus.
Yeah.
You're not in the SAG yet. You know, you gotta at least wait till you're 2 or something.
I'm still waiting to get paid by the Star Trek Radio Theater Union.
Star Trek Radio Theater. Well, you know, like there's a petition. It keeps getting pushed to the bottom of the pile.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what to say.
CBS paid me
It's
$5
just a
million,
small
you did.
crowd.
Yes. Okay. Well, we'll stay here and chat some more after the show, but we can come off the air. So fun to do this one, and we're looking ahead to May. We haven't set the exact date for the next show, but we know we want to do Family Business from Deep Space Nine.
Clash when it rises.
Clash when it rises. Yes. We gotta get the Moogie going. I keep saying I'm gonna put this on the sound on the quick keys here. Undo consider. Here we go. Moogie. No, that's not the good one, right? We need this.
Would
one.
you like me to chew your two grubs for you?
Here and here we go. Yeah, so we're gonna be doing that one for the next month for in honor of Mother's Day. Yeah.
Moogie's Day.
Moogie's Day.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun for that one. Looking forward to bringing the crew. We'll figure out the cast and everything else, and then for this episode, we'll be editing this down into a polished version, probably in a couple of weeks. It usually takes me about a week to edit it down just into and then start putting sound of like the background ambiance and everything else. I don't know if you guys have heard the last two that have come out, but I'm quite proud of them, and I thought they turned out pretty well. The looking for Parmok in all the wrong places, as well as the hiding queue we did last month. So check those out if you haven't already. The live version always is very special and a lot of laughs, but I find like the edited versions, the closest it comes to like recreating the episode, which is always fun for me at least. So
it's analogous.
It's analogous, yeah.
Analingus?
Analingus, I think.
Reminds me of the
Colonel Angus.
Colonel Angus. Started at the back door of Shady Thickets.
Yeah, and you didn't know already, we do all kinds of great podcasts here on Live Long and Podcast, including on Monday nights talking with Jody Simpson, Adam Woodward, and Kevin Millard about Star Trek Enterprise. And sometimes Davin's with us as well. Check that out every Monday night. Coming up, I can't remember which one we're doing. The one we're doing this Monday is called Oasis, and it features two Star Trek alumni. One is Rene Auberjonois, who of course played Odo on Deep Space Nine. This is after the fact. It also has Annie Wershing, who's playing the new Borg Queen now on Star Trek Picard. Which, if you haven't seen that, I've really enjoyed her performance in that role. And so this is like, I guess she did this many years ago, playing this other character. I don't really know what this episode is, Adam, that we're gonna be watching on Monday yet, but yeah,
I got to get refreshed too. That's tomorrow. That's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. No,
2 days.
Oh, well, you watch it tomorrow. You watch it on
watch
Sunday.
it tomorrow. Yeah.
And then we talk about it on Monday. And then Tuesday nights, Star Trek Deep Space Nine at 9-ish, at least for a few more weeks until ball hockey starts up, and then we're gonna find a new night where we go through all the new episodes. I think this one we're talking. What are we doing this?
This one is Javert.
The Eddington one.
Eddington.
Oh, for the uniform.
For
your uniform. Yeah, it's one of my favorite all time. It's gonna be really up there for sure.
You betrayed your uniform
For a Cisco performance, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then on Thursdays, we're talking about Star Trek right now, Star Trek Picard, season 2, episode 6. We just talked about 2 for 1 the other night. Or at least I did.
No spoilers. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah. Because I was on with Jody, and then like Jody's internet went out, and then so if you want to watch me talk to myself about Star Trek Picard for about half an hour, check that last Thursday.
I'll be returning this week, Dave. I promise.
It's all good, Everyone, David was sick. There was a lot of things that just kind of like happened. We talked about Star Trek Discovery, which featured Michael Chan, of course. In the finale, especially in the finale, big prominence in the finale. You should check out the interview over on Locutors of Trek that Davin and Dave did with Michael. I listened to the whole thing, left a whole bunch of comments. Check out Davin's podcast, Locutors of Trek, that he does with Dave. What do you got coming up on Locutors of Trek?
Oh, like the space episode we recorded 2 weeks ago, and I'm still trying to edit. It's been a busy, hectic few weeks here at.
You've been ill, so you know it's
exactly. But it's coming. Right. Go back and listen to Locutors of Chan.
Locutors of Chan. Of course. And then X-Men, the animated series podcast, Davin.
That's weekly. I don't have
weekly.
to edit that one because it's live, so it gets thrown up there right away. But,
Nice.
Yeah, check it out. And the Alpha Flight episode's next. Yay.
Alpha Flight, the Canadian X-Men.
Exactly.
Woo! Yeah. With Sasquatch and I can't remember all the names.
Yeah,
Puck.
Yeah, Puck. How can you forget Puck?
Yeah.
I love Puck.
You should also check out the Hellbound podcast with
That's right.
Michael Chan and Jessica Chan and Alex Blackburn. What's I know you guys were just talking about the most scariest episodes of Star Trek in your last episode.
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So if you like horror, you like scary, check out the Hellbound podcast with the crew over there, as well as Let's Talk About Fighting Games with Eamon Mater under his alias Sam Jerka. They talk about Mega Man. They talk about Baiku. They talk about Dragon Ball. All kinds of things. Fighting games. Let's Talk About Fighting Games on Spotify, wherever you get your audio podcasts, as well as our two other channels. We have Super Mater Brothers Podcasting that I do with primarily with my brother Jeff, as well as Jameel Robinson. Right now, we're in the thick of Big Brother Canada season 10, covering those episodes. We've done 6 weeks of that coverage so far, as well as Survivor season 42. We also like to talk about Marvel over on that channel, MCU stuff. We've been covering every MCU installment, Marvel Cinematic Universe, that is, since WandaVision came out in 2021. Most recently, I guess, it was Hawkeye, and then we have Moon Knight, which just kicked off. They have 2 episodes out so far. When all 6 episodes have finished, we'll be breaking all that down. And then Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness coming up in May, where I've already got my tickets in 3D and D-Box and all kinds of, what are we doing? Smells?
We're doing smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, all kinds of things.
Rain on us. It's going to snow on us.
Yeah.
It's 4D.
It's 4D. It's 4D, guys. And then Trivial Debates is our monthly show. We argue about movies, TV, sports, and more in a game show format. There's a host. There's 3 contestants, and they try to argue about different rounds and different things. Eamon Mater going to be hosting the next one coming up on May 1st with Chris Seymour competing, as well as Matt George and maybe Davan. I don't know. It's not confirmed yet. So he's
rarely saying no.
Yeah, he's got his agent. We got to check with his agent. Yeah.
Which is my baby.
Yeah. And you and Eamon are second. Eamon's your second cousin once removed. So, you know, I don't know if that will mean a favoritism or not.
I would hope so.
No.
I feel like I've been getting anti-favoritism on that show lately.
I think so.
You just got to be Chris, please.
Yeah. Don't
worry. It's not that hard.
If you got Chris and Matt to compete with,
Chris
it's
won
gonna
the
be.
last one I hosted.
Chris won the last one we were on. Yeah, exactly.
Fair and square, man. He was kicking ass on that one.
No,
weren't you the host though for that, Davan?
Yeah, that's why I know it was fair and square.
Yeah, that's
Fair
true.
judge.
I question that.
Are you questioning my integrity, sir?
Yes, I am.
You betrayed your uniform!
What? Yes. All right. Well, I think we'll go on out here and come off the air. Thank you for listening to us tonight and being part of this all. And we'll end with a very touching music. I really love the music in this episode, Darmok, and I'm glad that we got a chance to get a little bit of that here in the live record tonight. Okay, live long in the podcast, everyone. Thanks. Oh, you gotta touch the knife?